for urgent marine weather message concerning small craft advisory on the west coast of Florida.
Last time on Abandoned Comfort, we talked numbers again, and this time bared it all, showing you our bank account, telling you about our savings rate, and how you can calculate your own. We then dove into how much creators actually earn on Patreon, showed you our Patreon earnings, then capped it all off with our total refit costs. We are setting off right now. Somewhat of a late departure. I'll explain it to you once we're offshore.
Not offshore yet, but here's a quick update. Got the anchor up, and it is freezing outside. Once again, I think we're just doing winter sailing. Just all we're doing.
Now, we want the winds, so the winds come with a cold front.
Yep, a little chilly out. It was about 50 this morning when we got up, so we're on our way. There's where we were at the other marina. Just going out now. So, should be in open water in about 45 an hour.
Rue will tell you about the sail plan.
Yep.
How about that?
Rue, what's the sail plan? And he's working on other things. So what's the sail plan?
This is kind of similar to our last passage, riding out the back edge of a cold front. This is like a little bit heavier of a cold front that came through. It was gusting like almost 30 all day yesterday. So we're gonna have some winds. So that means we get to sail, which is awesome.
All right, let's get out of this channel.
You came in for more, but it's more than you can mind. And in all that's rotten, you're ready tonight. Stuck in a wicked fever as you wait for a home. Your cadence fails.
How was that inlet?
Fun. Not as bad as Boca, but little wavy. Got some big waves going on.
The first time we went into Boca at the front of that tropical storm, we were taking them directly on the beam, so that was fun. And we were under motor at that point.
Yeah, only motor.
Only motor, so it sucked. We're cruising right along. There's a small craft advisory, but we got our winds.
For urgent marine weather message concerning small craft advisory on the west coast of Florida, shift north to channel P2 Alpha, frequency 157.1 megahertz out.
Are we small craft?
Small dog advisory. So we are cruising. We have a sailboat that's in front of us. You guys aren't going to be able to see it on the camera, but it's been motoring this whole way. I mean, dude, you're like dead downwind, broad reach. I guess it's just too much wind for him, but this is the dream right now.
Yeah, this is nice. This is why you get a sailboat.
A couple episodes ago, you guys were asking about Rue and the netting. Netting is still on the list. We had to get the cockpit teak done. Here he is. He has his vest on and he is tethered in. And honestly, he's not going outside the coaming. The only time he went outside the coaming is when me and him both went up forward and I had control of him the entire time for him to go and use the bathroom. He's really particular in where he likes to go the pots. And he likes to go up on the forepeak on the green. Also, during that episode, a lot of people were talking about, well, why are you taking the boat out when it's gusting 20 to 25 knots? Honestly, like this morning it was gusting 25 to 30.
Yeah.
The reason why, you want to tell them why?
Well, the reason why is two things. It's good practice for us to get more comfortable in heavier weather.
My reasoning is this. We're in the Gulf of Mexico. There is not an easier area to learn how to sail and how to deal with heavier weather than here. There's no sea that's going to be more forgiving than this. So, why not take your crew and your boat out in the heaviest winds that you can get out here? I'm not saying go out in 50-mile-per-hour winds, but gusting 25 to 30 is a very real possibility that you're going to face if you're trying to sail the world. There's no denying that. So why not do it in one of the easiest training grounds? And of course, we're not trying to motor. We're not trying to get out here when it's flat, because it's flat most of the time in the Gulf of Mexico. We're trying to get out here when it's 2 to 3s, 3 to 4s, and it's blowing. Because we want to sail, like we're doing right now.
This guy finally calmed down.
Yeah, Rue wasn't too happy with the seas this morning. but he seems to be settled in there. So we are cruising right along here. We're averaging 6.8 knots, and right now it feels like we are close to 7.5. I don't have my iPad on me, so I can't see how fast we're going, but it definitely feels like we're cruising along nicely. I'll show you. Wind literally just stopped, like out of nowhere. Complete stop.
Died.
Trying to find it.
It's supposed to die down around this time.
Yeah, pretty much the forecast nailed it right on the nose.
I don't know if it's supposed to die down completely though.
Yeah, I mean, that just dropped off. We were going like 7 knots. And then 15 minutes later, we are going 2.9, so that's not bad. We'll take that.
I like the 7 though.
Yeah, we were cruising right along. We were talking like, get there early. We did have a late start because Kelsey's alarm didn't go off for some reason. Probably a good thing because the inlet was pretty upset because it still would have been dark if we left at the time that we were hoping to. It would have been interesting.
Yeah.
If we're above 2 knots and we're under sail, that's usually good enough for us. We're not going to turn on the engine just yet.
Not yet. Alright.
4.5. Back up there.
We're getting there.
Hold on to your fire. Hold on to your fire. Just hold on to your fire. Hold on to your fire. Feel the need to burn for days bygone. I know so would anyone. Oh, oh, oh. Don't you let that fire go now. Oh, oh, oh. Don't you let that fire go.
So the more passages we make, it seems the slower our average speed becomes. And that's awesome, because we're realizing what we actually want to sail for, which is times like this, where no one else would have their sails out right now, but we do, and we're happily making 3 knots. Like, this is what I equate the feeling of being at anchor to. Like, tranquility, no loud machines, coexisting with nature, and using her forces, and enjoying her forces, and being appreciative of them. That's why we talk a lot about getting a smaller boat, and people are like, but speed, you're gonna lose so much speed. It's like, alright, we're not in any crazy rush to get anywhere. Like, me and Kelsey are already like that anyhow. That's why we got into this, is to slow the hell down. And now that we have the option of 53 horsepower diesel, it's not forcing you to slow down. You have that option of saying, nah, I'm gonna speed up, I'm gonna get there. Like, we're not in any crazy rush. And that's what sailing to us is really all about. Is this. Slowing down. Appreciating Mother Nature. Taking it all in. Not being distracted by things that are needed now. Electronics. Loud, stinky diesel engine. Polluting diesel engine. It's just a shame to think about like how beautiful sailing used to be back in the day, and now you look at it and like, yeah, technology's great, like, don't get me wrong. The fact that we can predict our wind the way that we can now is incredible. But all the other crap that comes with it, like hot water heater, pressurized water, 53 horsepower diesel engine, I don't know. That's just not what sailing was made to be about, in my eyes. And that's what we're struggling with this boat. Like, you can say you're gonna give up maneuverability. Like, you got this 53 horsepower diesel engine, it's great. It is great, don't get me wrong, I love how this thing maneuvers. But we don't enjoy being in a slip. Me and Kelsey talk about this all the time, and Kelsey, you could tell them. Like, it's 2 totally different experiences. Like, when you're on the slip, it's just, I don't know. Like, yeah, we're able to get a lot more work done, but the feeling that you get when you're on the hook versus on the slip is drastically different. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I love being on the hook. It's just so peaceful and so nice, and it reminds you of why we actually got into this in the first place. And it's like moments like this, and it's moments when we're going 7 knots under sail. But it's never those moments when we're motoring places to get there before the sun sets. Being at anchor is amazing, and being in a slip is also amazing, but they're two totally different things. We love laying on couches and relaxing watching a movie. That would be our slip. And we love hiking mountains and camping out for weeks at end. That would be our anchor. So we love both worlds.
Would you equate like this sailing right now more to being at anchor and then motoring more to being on a slip?
Yeah, definitely.
It's more like hurry up, convenience, as opposed to solitude, tranquility, coexisting with Mother Nature.
Yep.
Something to think about. I'm not going to say you shouldn't have an engine on your boat, because I don't think anyone's that good nowadays at sailing. There are a lot of benefits of going engineless. You're forced into having to be an incredible sailor. It can be done. I'm not saying we can do it. We're not there yet. But we've talked a lot about it recently. Like, we're probably not ever going to do it, but we get why people think about it. A lot of the stresses that are involved in modern day sailing are all related to comfort, and taking land-based comforts and trying to put them on a boat. Hot water heater, not needed. Wind indicator down here, that's electronic, not needed. You can do this. There's your Windex. Sure, that might strain your neck, but come on.
So it's about 6 o'clock right now, a little bit before 6, and we have 2 options. We're averaging about 3.5 knots. So option 1 is we take down the sails right now and just motor the rest of the way and get there within like a half an hour, if that. Option 2 is we keep the sails up as long as possible and wait until about 7-ish, and then from there we take down the sails and motor into the anchorage. And we're gonna go with option 2. Want to be sailing as much as possible and see how far we get just under sail, even at these speeds. And from there we'll put on the engine. So we're using the engine less and we get to enjoy sailing a little bit more. Sounds about right.
Get to the anchorage about an hour and a half later, but again, no rush. This is what it's about. Although we do have to beat the sun dropping because mosquitoes here are awful. Like worse than at the lock probably. So if I want to keep Kelsey on the boat, probably need to get there before sundown.
Nothing works. Deep off woods, intense stuff doesn't work. Natural remedies don't work. I get destroyed.